Hey, Monty, can you take us through crunch time and just the level of execution you saw from your guys when the game was on the line?
I mean, you said it. It was just a high level um, of execution on both ends of the floor, whether it was, the defensive game plan, holding those guys to 19 points in the fourth quarter. And then offensively, we just have guys who have been in those moments and know how to make plays down the stretch. So from that standpoint, like I told our guys, just a high level of character and integrity. I didn't think we played particularly solid in the first half, and even to begin the third quarter, it wasn't that great from a solid perspective. And then about halfway through the third quarter, you just saw much more game plan discipline. Then down the stretch, putting the ball in Chris's hands. I thought the play where he got the ball to Biz, how Biz caught the ball, I'm not quite sure how. And then to be able to finish that and get an and one, it's twofold for us. We score, we get a free throw, but we get to set our defense. And, the more times you can be in those situations, the more confidence it builds for your team.
How nice of a win is that to get when just shots aren't falling all night, but you can just rely on your defense to that point?
It's who we are. We have guys who can make shots, and Jae definitely made a number of big shots. Book goes for 28. But it was the defense that anchored us for sure. That's a team that's been running through the league here of late. And to beat them on their home floor like that is huge for us. And I thought the defense allowed for us to score. There were a number of times where we got into like secondary transition environments just because we were getting stops. And I thought the deflections was a huge key for us. I don't know how many deflections Mikal and Chris had, but I'm pretty sure it's a high number. And then Chris's pressure on their guards when we tried to get the ball out of Luka's hands and have somebody else bring it up, and Chris was all over those guys, just putting a lot of pressure on them, and I thought that helped us break their rhythm.
On the challenge, that's a huge goal.
Yeah.
What were you? I mean, you're on the other end of the basket.
Yeah, I could see it to a degree, and then it's hard to trust the players because no player in the history of the league has ever committed a foul. So, but when all of our guys kind of saw something, then I turned to the bench, and then I had a timeout, and I think we had a 5-point lead. I'm not quite sure. So that gave you a bit of a buffer, but it was a bit of a gut feel. Then looking at our guys, looking at the staff, we try to get the footage as quickly as we can. And there was no one that disagreed. Everybody was like, this one might be the one. So, but I think a lot of it was just trusting the players on that one, which is really hard in those moments. But I thought I had a good vantage point from where I was. I just thought his arm hit Book right in the face. Now I could be off on that because I didn't get a chance to see the replay.
You putting the ball in Chris's hands, but they blitzed the Book to get it out of his hands.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, if you blitzing him, that means.
Yeah, you got Jae and Chris on the backside, and you also have Mikal who can attack the basket. And we've been through that since we've been here. We went through it in the playoffs last year against the Lakers, and that really prepared us for games like tonight when we call it a hit. When they go hit Book or Chris, we have some counters in play. But it's just players making plays, man. I mean, I'd love to tell you I chess piece it and was that doggone bright. I think our guys just make plays when they need to.
And the last one gets to be able to finish.
Yeah.
Because Dallas could have easily really pushed that out there.
Yeah.
Well, last game when we've been out since January 10th, you could easily fought into that.
Yeah. I just told our guys at halftime we got to grind it out with solid. I didn't think we were particularly solid in the first half. And then, like I said, at the second half of the third quarter, I started seeing more solid plays defensively. And then, like I said, Jae was making shots, Chris was making plays. And Biz gave us such a boost. His presence in the paint is huge for us. So campaign gave us a bump at the end of I think it was the end of the third, beginning of the fourth. That really helped us. But to, close out a road trip like this, I mean, we played desperate teams every game. And this team, like I said, has been ripping through the league here of late. To end the trip this way, it's a great trip for our team. I told our guys that builds a lot of confidence. When you win 4 games in a row on the road, it's like human nature says, we had a good trip, and we wanted to have a great trip, and the only way we could have a great trip was to win tonight. Good. How are you?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm from Greece, from the country of Giannis Athanasiou Antetokounmpo.
Okay.
First of all, what's your opinion about Bismarck Biyombo? You are lucky
Yeah.
that you sign Bismarck, that was a key today.
Yeah.
And second, if you think that we have possibilities to see again this year final games against Suns and Milwaukee Bucks.
Well, to speak to your first question, Bismack has been a tremendous asset for us, not only on the floor, but as a human being. He's an unbelievable worker. He's a pro's pro, and he's just a good dude. And he's helped us win games. There's no other way to explain it. As far as the finals are concerned, we can't get happy on the farm and look too far ahead. We have a lot of work to do. First, we got to make the playoffs, and then we can think about, the first round. But the Bucks are champions, and we have the utmost respect for them. And they certainly achieved something that we want to. So, but we have a lot of steps to cover before we can even approach that. What's that?
How do you see Giannis?
What do you mean? How do I see him?
Your opinion about his progress.
He's a former MVP. I mean, he's done everything there is to do. He's arguably the best player in the NBA. So there's not much he hasn't accomplished. And as I said, we have a lot of respect for him.
With Cam Cox on Zoom.
Hey, Coach, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. Coach, what did you learn about your team on this road trip? I mean, to be perfect and to come back home like this, I mean, what does it say about your team?
The same thing I told them in the locker room. We have a ton of character and integrity on our team. We have the mental stamina that we believe is going to bode well for us as we progress through the season. We have leadership. We have high-level communication. And I just appreciate the people that we have on our team, especially the bench. We have guys that haven't played. They work their tails off. They cheer for their teammates. It's a really cool group to be around. And we really don't have a ton of off bad days around here. Yesterday's practice was about as good of a practice without playing 5-on-5 as I've ever been around. And it's not a group that I take for granted at all. I care deeply about our guys as individuals, but I really enjoy our team.
Good. Yeah. Say I was going to start off, you were doing this like, let's calm down, let's relax. How much of that in the huddles was preached like, okay, they got to lead, but let's relax.
A lot of it. We're trying to figure it out. We just felt like we was there, but we had a couple slippage in a couple plays, a couple ATOs that we were aware of that they were going to run. They ran them and scored on them, and we was pretty upset about that. So we just tried to figure it out, and we figured it out there late in the fourth.
Curious just what does it mean that they get a win like this?
Big time. We talk about amongst ourselves to make a good trip, a great trip, and you got to win the last one. So we did just that. It took us 4 quarters to do it, and it was a scrappy game. We dug deep and figured it out. But it's a great way to end our road trip.
Yeah, what's it been for you guys when it's down 2-3 minutes left with a 1 or 2 possession game? Your track record in those games. What's that like for you guys? We
know what we're trying to get to. We have an understanding of what we're trying to get to the end of the game. our playmakers, Chris and Book, do a great job of just putting everybody in position, putting themselves in position and putting other guys in position to close games. So we're very aware and we're all on the same page when it comes to that time of the game. And I think that comes with just playing in playoff situations, knowing each other, trying to figure it out. And I think this year we're just still trying to build and try to be the best we can be in those times.
There's one that just the challenge, make that challenge on the block. Like everybody's like, no, you gotta run that. Just maybe take me through it from your end on how clear that seemed to you guys a bit.
Yeah, I just got a chance to see it. You know what I mean? I was standing right there where the ref was at too. You know what I mean? You could see that Book went up and blocked it clean. And thank God we still had our challenge. You know what I mean? Because them tough bang bang calls, you know what I mean? Everybody just assumed because of the contact that it's a foul. So luckily we still had it.
It looks like there's some chirping coming from their bench in the fourth quarter. And I couldn't tell exactly what you said, but it seemed like it kind of turned in and was just almost like a warning, like, okay.
Yeah.
What was going on there?
Theo Pinson. Yeah. That's my family though. Like that ain't like my friend, that's my family. Like he born and raised in Winston, all that. Like that's my family. So Theo's just over there. So I'm talking to him. And I don't know if Reggie was over there too, but both of them like literally part of my family. So it was all games and shit.
What did you tell
Don't keep it on the court.
Yeah, keeping it. Theo know what I said. Theo know.
them? Yeah, same thing I had, Jay. What's it like for you when, it's 2-3 minutes left? It's time to close it out. What's that feeling? What's that mentality? I
mean, it's fun because with a team like ours, like I said, it's not just a one person or two people. We got a system. We play a certain way. We play off reads, and it could be anybody on any given night. So it's so fun to know that it's a unit. It's all of us moving as one. And so when we're in those situations, it's not always going to work out for us, but we know what we want to get to.
It's just about being able to have Biyombo come in and do what he did in that fourth quarter. It's like it's a continuation. It seemed like from the San Antonio game. If either one of you want to speak to it.
Yeah, I expect it. You know what I mean? I've been talking to Kyle Lowry a lot too about Bismack, and he was just, even today, Kyle was like, man, he's so solid. He's so solid. And it's cool because I've known Biz for a long time, being involved in the union, but it's cool to get a chance to play with him because I keep saying it, like playing hard is a talent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And he does that.
Mm-hmm.
So when you play hard, good things happen. And he's been a huge addition to our team.
In a situation where they blitz you and you can have Chris Paul on the opposite end, you can just drop two and nobody's going to make a play.
Yeah, I mean, that's the benefit of this team. There's talent all around. Funny you said that. I should remember like last year when a team would try to double one of us and just, how our competitive spirit comes out like, yeah, all right, you're going to double me? All right. So, it just makes the game easier. We all trust each other to that degree and that level. So, that's CP3.
Want to ask about your block. How confident were you that? I mean, you immediately. I mean, I've seen you do that, but it was like an immediate. Hey, let's challenge it. How confident were you?
I was very confident. But you just never know in those situations. The plays happen so fast, and the refs just see contact and make the call. But you guys seen it in slow mo. The contact was really delivered to me. It's just winning plays. That was went into the fourth quarter down 8. We just wanted to lock in. They've been playing very well, 10 of 11, on their home court. It was a big win for us.
You guys have missed 16 straight threes. How do you overcome that?
Defense, that's what we pride ourselves on. Obviously in the first half, or really both halves, we weren't shooting it as well as we usually do or tend to. So, just sticking together, understanding it's a 48-minute game, understanding that they played last night, the wear down effect can come in, and, we just stuck with it.
they played last night, you know your track record as a team in clutch situations. You get it to, right around even with 5 minutes left. What do you think?
I know we're in a good spot. Like I was talking about earlier, we all trust each other, and we had the experience. We had a lot of learning curves last year, but having that time and that experience together, I think, I know put us in a situation where we never hit the panic button, we never get flustered or out of whack. We just stick to what we do, and we perform well down the stretch.
And you mentioned how well they've been playing. They've gone from like mediocre teams in these last 10, 12 games. I mean, they've been best in the league. What preparing for them and playing tonight, what have you seen from them defensively?
I mean, they have a lot of athletes. I've noticed, and you can just tell, like, it's contagious. Once you see a few people start guarding, and I've been watching a lot of the recent games, they've all picked it up defensively. And, a lot of people say it's an effort thing, but when you have a lot of athletes out there similar size, you're able to switch a lot of actions. And that's what they've been doing.
Devin, I have one last thing just to be able to close this trip. It could have easily got really away, considering when you guys were shooting the ball. But then you got to make the defensive turnover, get those, get points off of that. But how nice is it to be able to close it out, knowing what was the obstacle that was.
Yeah, long trip, man. It was the longest trip for us this season. I think 11, 12 days. And we always talk about turning a good trip into a great trip and winning every single one at a time. So, once we get on that road, our checklist is out. We're ready to take on any challenge. And, I just said it in the post game on the court, like, we spend real quality time together. At home, I think everyone has their own family and what's going on. But once we touch road, like, we're all together. Even when we leave practice, we're in the room together. We're watching games together. We're hitting each other on the group chat. So, you can't fake what we got. And, it takes time and, spending quality time with each other.
Finish with Kellen Olson on Zip.
Hey, Book, I just had one for what you were mentioning with the panic button and learning from last year. Is part of that you can win through your defense in games like this when shots aren't falling? Yeah,
you can. I mean, you have to score a little bit, and, I'm confident that we have the players to do that also, but, it has to start on the defensive end, and, a couple turnovers and getting some quick ones always helps too. Getting to the free throw line helps. But it starts with your defense, but they had a 8-point lead. You have to score a little bit.